Hey everyone, I hope you got a chance to watch Josh Brown's video on stock market prices and the economy. So the way he describes a man walking a dog and through the park, and the man has one direction where he's going while the dog may be bouncing back and forth or running after other dogs, but he's got him by the leash. Sometimes he pulls on the leash, sometimes the dog stays back and sniffs around for a while. Sometimes it bounces to the left side, to the right side. The dog's just going all over. So price action works around moving averages much in the same way. But so here, all these lines, what we have, these are our moving averages. So we have fast moving averages, which is, okay, so the first one is the 5-day moving average, this light blue line. Okay, what it represents is the average close of the last 5 days. So the closing price of this day, this day, this day, this day, and this day, averaging them all up, and that's what the 5-day moving average equals for each one of these days going back. Now, the next one is the 10-day moving average. That's this yellow line. So what it represents is the average close of the last 10 days. The next one is the red line, is the 20-day moving average. It's the average of the last 20 days. And then it keeps going. So those are our fast moving averages, the 5, the 10, and the 20-day. So these will hug closer to price action because they're most relative to the last few days, the 5, the 10, the 20 days. So it hugs close to the price action. The slow moving averages are these other lines. We call the green line is the 50-day moving average. It's the average of the last 50 closes. The light blue line is the 100-day moving average. It's the average of the last 100-day closes. And then this purple line you can almost think of as the man. It's the 200-day moving average. So this one, it's the average of the last 200 days. It does not vary in ping pong back and forth as much as the fast moving day averages are, okay? So in his example, these moving averages work like, let's pretend that the purple 200-day moving average, this is actually the man, and he's walking 5 of these other dogs. And these dogs are all different ages, right? So we have a 5-month-old dog, very hyper, bouncing all over around. A 10-month-old dog, that's about a year old, so it's still young and hyper and growing and ambitious, but it's not as hyper as the 5-month-old dog. The 20-day moving average you can think of, that's about a 2-year-old dog, so it's still young and vibrant, but it's not bouncing around as much as the 5-month-old and the 10-month-old. And then you have a 50-day or 50-month-old dog, so that's about 4 years old. Again, they get slower and slower until they're just kind of wandering on the one path and more trending rather than bouncing all over. So that's the way to think of these moving averages and how they work. The other thing I want to go over is why they work. And a lot of money is traded in the stock market every day, and it's not done by, when you're trading hundreds of millions of dollars, it's not done by someone at a computer looking at 100 different monitors telling it when to buy and sell. It's done by computers, by algorithms, by code, and these codes have to give specific rules and definitions. Computers can do a lot if they have inputs. So a lot of times these codes and algorithms will use moving averages such as these as points to when to buy and sell. And so that's why you'll see a lot of action around a moving average. If you can see the red line, for example, as price is below it, it's been in a downtrend. When price gets above it and starts moving and bouncing and using as support, it's in an uptrend. It breaks down below, comes up using the red moving average. Now it's a ceiling, so it's in a downtrend. breaks up a little bit but doesn't confirm. It's still kind of pinging around it. So now it's in a downtrend. It's being resisted every time it goes up around it. Resisted, resisted. Today it comes up, gets resisted. So I mean, bonds are in a downtrend, but if price were to break up above it and start rising and using the red 20-day moving average as support rather than resistance, uses it as a floor rather than a ceiling, then you might see this turn up, and you'd see the red line turn up and all the moving averages turn up. The quick moving averages would turn up, and then the slower 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages, they're not going to be as affected as much. They'll move a lot slower. So another way to think about the trend is when fast-moving averages start rolling over the slow-moving averages. So you see the red line and the yellow line and this light blue line start crossing over here the slower moving averages, which are the green and the dark blue and the purple. So as these red and yellow lines start crossing the green and purple lines underneath, that is another signal that the trend is over. It doesn't mean that it can't reverse and go back up. It often does, but how deep the pullback will be is anyone's guess. But I mean, at the moment, technically, this would be in a downtrend. And we can confirm that by using these moving averages. And we also look for those as sell points. So for TLT, this stock right here, this is a long-term bonds. We also talked about this gap right here. Gaps like to get filled. So we expected to see if price could rise above this 10-day moving average fast line and start turning up, could use that as support to close this gap. Gaps like to get filled. So we'll keep watching these, but if you had questions on moving average or candlesticks, I hope this answered it, but gave you an idea how we use them. We also use them as sell targets because, as you can see, during downtrends, they become ceilings. So when price is under it, that's where sellers might come in and start overwhelming buyers. So those are good points for us to get out of positions that we're in. So I hope that helps. If you have any more questions, write in to me, and I'll get them answered for you. All right, thank you.